Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Kris and this is my first video of 2019, and I thought what better way to kick off the channel than sharing with you my 5 favorite categories Amazon selling in 2019. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video, I want to say a quick disclaimer. This does not mean that categories off of this list are not profitable. There are many profitable categories. I'm just sharing with you my reason why I picked these 5. And my second thing is this is more so for people selling already branded products. If you're a private label seller, this video is not for you. This is for people who are buying name brand products via arbitrage or wholesale. And secondly is I give away a 1-hour call every single video. And the winner from last video is Gary. He says, love to win a coach call. Gary, hit me up on social media and we can definitely set something up. I look forward to speaking with you. So I want to point out one other thing before actually getting into the 5 categories, and that is let's go to Amazon and look at their fee changes for this year. Now, if you're new to Amazon, or even if you are new to Amazon, you probably know that Amazon loves bumping up the fees every single year. Now, since the dawn of the FBA program, you can see that fees have increased, and I expect this to happen into the new year. But basically anything under 10 ounces will not get a fee bump. So what that means is the heavier the item and the slower moving your item is, the more the seller is penalized. And rightfully so. This makes perfect sense from a business standpoint. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is one thing that I'm keeping in mind when crafting this list. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys number 5, which is the DVD category. So this is more so for people doing arbitrage. But one of the reasons why I really like this category is I compare it to selling books in, 2014 or 2015, because you can buy something that sells for $9 or $10 and still make a few dollars on it. And so when you send in a whole box of DVDs, it could be hundreds and hundreds of dollars for very, very little money spent. Because when you're going to these book sales, a lot of these people at book sales are just looking for the textbooks and all this other stuff, but they're not looking for the DVDs. And it's not everyone can sell it, which is a theme you guys are going to see across more so of the later categories. I'm looking for barriers to entry. So category number 4 is electronics. And electronics meaning it could be security cameras, routers, TVs, video games, consoles, controllers. That's one of the reasons why I picked electronics as number 4, is because there's such a wide array of actual items. So let's say I find a distributor that's selling Sony items. Sony just doesn't make PS4s. They make a ton of other stuff. And so it really gives you a good depth for each brand name. HP, Microsoft, and the same thing can be said about all of them. The last reason why I really like electronics is just because something was discontinued doesn't mean that people are still not seeking after it. Because I'll give you an example. We hit up a supplier that we bought these TVs that were about 2 years old. They still had a decent amount of profit on them because people still wanted this TV even though it was discontinued. But the reason why this is number 4 is because oftentimes in electronics, at least from my experience, the return on investment is lower, but the same cannot necessarily be said about these latter 3. Now, number 3 is shoes. And the reason why I like shoes is because not everyone can sell name brand shoes like Nike, Puma, Adidas, Converse. And if you look at sellers on YouTube, such as Reezy Resells, who says he's going to do $2 million in just one store alone, it can kind of give you a perspective of how much money is actually here. But the whole reason there's money in this, because not everyone can go into a Nike outlet and scan to find items to send into Amazon. In my experience, scanning from Nike stores, you can definitely find good items, and it's really easy to spend $5,000, which is what they cap you at per Nike store. Usually it's about $5,000 per person, and that's on the daily. So it's not uncommon for people to go in with 3 friends and a U-Haul once a week and spend $20,000 amongst all their friends. And you do that 4 times a month, that's $80,000 you just spent. And just cost of goods sold alone, that's a $500,000 a year Amazon business at least. Now, my number 2 category goes to supplements. And for anyone that's been following my YouTube channel knows that this is what I'm currently selling and what I'm already building my business around. And the reason why I like supplements is, yes, it's a gated category. They're small, but they also are replenishables. So as opposed to the Nike. Nike's shoes, if someone bought a pair of Nike shoes, they're not going to buy that same exact pair the next month. As opposed to the supplement, if you want that exact same supplement, you have to order from the same exact listing. But the real reason I like supplements is because of just the sheer amount of brands that you have available to choose from. If you think of the industries, if you think of YouTube, Instagram, anything like that, the fitness industry and just supplements, it's one of the most competitive niches out there. There's a new supplement company getting created every week, and there's never going to be a short supply of good suppliers to source from. So if we're sourcing from Now Foods and it's no longer profitable to sell on Amazon, we have 100 other supplement companies we can now source from. So that's why I give it number 2. But number 1 is the beauty category. This is my number 1 category for 2019. And it's for the sheer barriers to entry to be able to sell this. And it's not just beauty. It's more so the topicals and the name brand, like let's say Lucky Cologne or Gucci face cream, something like that. That's a topical and it's a name brand topical. I'm going to go ahead and discuss with you these barriers to entry and why it's so lucrative. So first, you have to get ungated in the topical subcategory on Amazon, which isn't necessarily an easy feat. Then you have to, most of the time, you have to get in the Amazon hazmat program, because a lot of times these products are classified as hazardous. So you need a special storage space on Amazon to sell these. And even if you are in the hazardous program, you still may have to submit extra documentation sometimes, and it's really not that much space to begin with. So you're only allowed to start selling a small portion. And lastly, this is the biggest barrier to entry, is you have to gain access to these suppliers. And it's kind of a catch-22, because you need to get work directly with these suppliers, but they're not working with not only Amazon sellers, but online sellers. And sometimes they're not even working with certain brick and mortar. So whether it's Versace, Lucky, Louis Vuitton, whatever it is, it's very, very hard to get ungated in these particular brands. But if you can pass all 3 of those and your account can sell all of that, I think you're going to make a lot of money in 2019. And that's my number 1 focus. So, and to kind of end on a story to kind of further prove my point, I'm sure some of you guys know Brock Johnson. He's an Amazon seller. He's on YouTube, and he made $6 million selling solar eclipse glasses in 2017. And the reason is not because he was the only person who could sell solar eclipse glasses. The reason is because when Amazon came to the point where they're like, look, this is a liability for our business, we need proper documentation showing that you actually can sell these. He was the only person to have it. So he was the last man standing, and he cleaned house. That is the reason why I think that's number 1 category. So what's your guys' opinion on this? It's okay to go against the grain, to source big items and to send big items into Amazon and sell big items on Amazon. I'm not saying to not do that, but in reality, I am saying to go against the grain than what everyone else is telling you to do, or what may seem easy, because the thing is that if everyone else is doing it, it's going to be hard to make money. There's always something out there that someone isn't doing that you could be making money doing yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with, what are you guys sourcing? What's your main category you're focused on in 2019? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to join that free Facebook group in the description below. See you in there.